Hey guys, so a new season just started, and now we all have to grind back our rank. A lot of you guys have been requesting me to make a video about the best tips to rank in solo queue, even when you get an AFK and have no tank. As you probably already know, I have done many challenges in the past, which I solo queue to mythic rank, and I still end up with a very high win rate, around 85 to 93% win rate. I will try my best to share with you all my best tips that I have learned throughout my solo queue experience. First of all, just get good teammates, a good internet provider, get a good phone, and play in an easy server. But since these are things that we cannot really control, let's talk about what we can actually do to increase our chance of winning. Here you can see that in this game, our S2 is AFK, and the system picked her Nana, her most used hero. Looking at our team composition, my intuition is telling me that my teammates are probably quite inexperienced in this game. Also, I had to take into consideration that we have an AFK. She will come back for a brief moment, and then go AFK again. In the end, I decided to take matters into my own hands. If you think your team is lacking, then use a good hero that can do a lot on his own, and Yushon is one of them. I will probably make a new video about the best hero to carry in solo rank after this, so if you don't want to miss out, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, yeah? As you can see, we don't have a tank in our team. That's why I decided to go with Yushon, because he can sustain a lot and deal a lot of damage at the same time.
Doubt my intentions. In the end, only the victor will be remembered.
When you're playing solo rank, always expect the unexpected. You might encounter a lot of really bad teammates, a team with no tank, 2 marksmen, a toxic player, and so on. But remember, the other team might also encounter the same situations. So in the end, it is up to you to disrupt the status quo and increase your own chance of winning the game. Of course, there are some games that no matter how hard you try, you will still end up losing. But the probability of you ranking up is way higher and almost guaranteed if you understand how the game really works.
Fret not, you can't escape the inevitable. Soon,
Learn how each hero works. For example, when you use a hero that has a lot of spell vamp, then try to harass the enemies as much as possible in the early game. You will end up winning the trade because you gain the health back pretty easily. Also, learn which hero are good for the early game and which ones are only good for the late game. If you gain this knowledge, then you can play more aggressively or defensively according to the situation.
There is no right or wrong, only consequences.
Always pay attention to the map, learn how to read it, and rotate accordingly. Don't just mindlessly keep farming without paying attention to the map, even though there might be some jungle monsters available. But if you read the map properly, you can see that there are a lot of good opportunities to gain even a bigger advantage than just farming.
Fret not, you can't escape the inevitable.
Here I was expecting the Kagura to use her ultimate and try to kill us. At least that's what I would have done. So I tried to anticipate that move and counterattack. But maybe I did that move too early. Learn from your mistakes. Those experiences are your best sensei.
Give me a break, or you'll suffer a miserable death. There is no future for Cadia Riverlands behind closed doors.
Try to anticipate the enemy's next move. Always try to think ahead and plan your next move accordingly. If you know how each hero works, then you can somewhat tell to an extent what they are going to do next.
What doesn't kill me makes me even stronger.
You have team destroyed the turret!
I only demonstrate my true strength. Necessary. nonsense. Dragon Altar is the true peril of
Launch
Cadia River.
attack.
I only demonstrate my true strength when necessary. Suffer!
You have slain an enemy. An ally has slain the turtle.
Help me! Help me!
So close to the grand victory. Don't me.
Never expect too much from your random teammates. If you have low expectation from the start, you will not be that angry or tilted if your teammates don't perform well. This is why it is important to look at the map at all time, to see if your team is following up or not. I know it's pretty hard to do that during a fight, but try your best.
You have slain an enemy.
Doubt my intentions as you please. In the end, only the victor will be remembered.
Always go for the damage dealers first. If you can finish off the damage dealer first, then the tanks become pretty useless.
Me? No, it's you who put yourselves in danger.
Here you can see that I'm anticipating Kagura's next move. I will preemptively use my third skill to stun her when she goes back to her umbrella.
Been destroyed. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Use anything and everything to your advantage, even your bad teammates. It might seem like a joke, but a lot of time using your teammates as a bait actually works.
Ally has been slain.
There is no future
Initiate retreat.
behind closed borders.
Turtle resurrecting soon.
Dragon Altar is the true peril of Cadia Riverlands.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Don't waste time chatting, unless it's necessary, like maybe to give some advice to your marksman to play safer or to your tank to provide vision. Mobile Legends is a very fast-paced game. The average game duration is around 10 to 12 minutes. Every second counts here. Unlike other mobile games like Dota and League of Legends, each game takes a minimum of around 30 minutes or more. So in those games, you can chat without losing much.
Double kill.
To fail your banality is
An ally has slain the turtle.
Give me a break, or you'll suffer a miserable death.
Initiate retreat.
I don't give a damn if the world is against me.
Don't think the whole world is against you when you get the AFK, feeders, bad teammates, and so on. Just focus on your game and see what you can do to increase your chance of
A
winning.
miserable death.
Initiate retreat.
I don't give a damn if the world is against me.
An ally has been
You can see that our Nana is here, but not really. And you will see at the end that this was definitely a 4v5 since the start.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Triple kill.
Doubt my intentions if you please. In the end, only the victor will be remembered.
Monster kill. Your team destroyed a turret. Your team destroyed a turret. Our turret is under attack.
Don't get overly confident when you're winning, and if you're losing, the enemies might get cocky in the late game. All it takes is one mistake in the late game to completely turn the game around.
Give me a break, or you'll suffer a miserable death.
An ally has been slain.
Soon, a
Shut
new
down.
I only demonstrate
Launch
my
attack.
true strength when necessary.
Our turret is under attack.
No, it's you who put yourselves
Launch
in danger.
attack.
The Black Dragon has arrived!
Our turret is under attack. You have slain an enemy.
Soon, a new
Request
world will
backup.
be dawning. Nonsense.
If your team has the advantage, make sure to take objective and try to finish the game as soon as possible. The longer the game lasts, the higher the chance the enemies have to make a comeback.
In time, the world will bow before me.
Request backup.
Nonsense. Dragon Altar is the Black Dragon has arrived.
Our turret is under attack. An enemy has been slain.
Will bow before me.
Ally has been slain. Enemy Shut down. You have slain an enemy. Initiate retreat.
You are doomed to fail for your banality
Double
and
kill.
cowardice, Bashia. There is no right or wrong. Only consequences.
It's important to know how to use one or two heroes for each role, especially if you're playing solo. A lot of times, you'll have to adjust according to your team composition.
There is no right or wrong. Only consequences. Soon, a new world will be dawning.
Pay attention to your respawn time. This information is really important because this will tell you if you can take the objective on time or not.
An ally has been slain. Request backup.
Doubt my intentions as you please. In the end, only the victor will be remembered. Nonsense.
An enemy
Dragon
has been
Altar is the
slain.
true peril of Cadia Riverland. There is no future for Cadia Riverlands behind closed borders. The Black Dragon has arrived! Nonsense! Dragon Altar,
Mega kill. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
doomed to fail for your banality and cowardice.
Ally has been slain. Triple kill. Wiped out. You destroyed a turret.
You can see our Granger and Valor are not even attacking the base. Remember, always have low expectation right from the start and you will see you won't get tilted often. And the last and most important tip to help you rank up a lot faster is always watch my videos so you'll improve your gameplay significantly. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe.